Oh, what's up? Here's Duke from Duke's Paint Art. First, I have to explain this video here after the so many super response and feedbacks and many comments. I decide to release a new video, part 3, Body of Asgard, hair, helmet, metal plates. This is the first part of the part 3, yeah? You will see and will have a cool result. Okay, have fun. So what I'm doing here is I take the airbrush and mix the deepest color, the abyssal blue, very diluted like an glaze. You see here my mixture, the darkest one and the brightest part, and I take this as a glaze and I down glaze the body, yeah, to we have a very good zenithal priming, and we see where is the light and so on. And now it is a good time to apply the main color of the armor. This is not a real armor, this is a tunica, yeah, over the armor. And that's the reason I choose the color as soft glaze and spray it over the parts. It makes totally sense at the end of the video. Step, take the anthracite gray. It's a brighter tone, and we spray it from above like a zenithal priming. We need to become a little bit a matte, softened touch, and we have to because the angle of the airbrush is in this case, because we need a softened transition of our mixtures, yeah, that we see where is the shadows and where is the lights, and create a soft matte tone. And we can do this on every part that we want. You see here the lights and the shadows are so in the right spot. Here comes now the first interesting part. We take our color and mix it white into the color, or ivory. You see here the mixture, and then we go on the edges and some spots of the tunica. We set up some light points and a different transition and color tone between the upper part of the body and the down part of the body of the tunica. And here we're giving with more white or ivory in our mixture, giving in the areas maximum light and to sharpen the edges that we become a nice volume and good contrast. And you see here the lights, and you can go further and further if you want. We do this later. It is a back and forth game. I tell you in the last video, you can go further and further and further. I do this here, some a little step to show you, and yeah, that is the point. So here in this case now, my favorite part, we take some deepest color. For example, I put on the wet palette in the upper part my main darkest color, and I mix a mixture of the deepest color and a black, and this is a shadow glaze, a wash ink consistency, because I need to support every shadows on the body in the deepest part. And I mix, if you want, you can mix a little bit of Lamia medium in your mixture to get not so a strong darkest touch. Yeah, I need a soft touch of shadow parts between the brightest part and the darkest part. Sorry for the lights here. Sometimes my lights go change the volume. Yeah. Okay, I hope you understand this technique. Yeah, you go further and further with the shadows. You take some, so we call it to the down glaze. Yeah, these parts, and then you get another super nice color touch. Yeah, and you improve the shadows. It's 2 in 1. After we wait for the dry time, we can paint the metal parts in with the first metal color. In this case, I paint all the metal parts you see here with bearing blue. It's for me a super starting color for the non-metallic colors. I paint this very soft and very smooth every time, every piece. Yeah, that's it. And the next part is now we have to glue all the parts together. Oh, now it's time for the hair of Valhalla. Let me explain. if you glue them miniature the parts together, you have to glue the face and the helmet on the top of the cape, because there's yeah, this design is so you have to glue them together. Ah, okay. Then atomic mascade. What can I say? Okay. And you took some. I took in this case the heavy gold brown. Heavy gold brown is a pretty awesome color for me. Oops. And it's very good for starting hairs in a blonde sheen. Yeah. You put some little bit sepia ink. You can use whatever you can choose, whatever you want, the Rhinox hide or Agrax earth shade. In my case, sepia ink is the best in for this shade. You see, I'm shaded a little bit down, and then I paint the whole hairs with this color, and yeah, you see what I'm doing here. In the same time, we wait for drying the hair. We take some cool, nice colors from the Nocturna Fantasy Flash Vallejo Fantasy Pro set and mix a cool, yeah, a face tone that is for you acceptable. And I mix it, you see here, a little reddish and then a little bit shadow, because this is under the helmet. And this is not so bright, the face, and we try to get a realistic, not so comic style or washing style. Yeah, we try to get a realistic face paint and paint the whole face with this color. Very smooth, very good diluted. I think you need some 2 or 3 layers of them, because there is very diluted, and yeah, need some more layers. So here you see I do it, more layers on it, and don't forget these parts here. Yeah. And the next thing is we try to paint some shadows in the face, and we mixture a self yeah, I say I wash a shadow color, and we use this shadow color for the deepest parts of the face, and for the beneath the helmet in the eye parts. You will see what I'm doing, and then you see, I understand. It's very good. And if you want, you can stop it right exactly here, but we go further and further and further. Yeah, and don't forget this model. After the last part, we finish that with some special magical touches for the blue metal plates and so on. Yeah, here you see I paint the helmet, because this is a very good moment to paint the helm. Just simply bearing blue with water, add some water in the bearing blue. Because so many people ask me how many water I add in my color. Really, 2 or 3 drops of distilled water every time. I use it every time, 2 or 3 drops. Okay, you see here I paint the helm, very careful, and with the main color of the bearing blue. So now we take the sepia ink for shade the hairs. Go in the deepest part of the hair. You see here what I'm doing. Paint this in the near of the helmet because there is the shadow on the deepest part, and go a little bit here and there between the parts of the hairs. Yeah, I think I let the picture speak. You remember what I say over the shadows for the face? After the drying time for the face color, we said, you see, I mix more of the Nocturna shadow in the flesh color and go from up to down in this face. And for the most of the people, here you can really stop it and you have a really good face for your tabletop gaming or so. But we go further, you will see. In the, now we can also highlight the hairs. Go with the main color without the sepia ink and apply it, really soften over the edges of the hair. Be careful. So for the non-metallic metal parts, we take the Arctic blue, sorry, and this is very important. Mix it in our mixture and paint it really some half circles, yeah, where you are think for you where the lights is the most of the parts. Yeah, you see what I'm doing here? Only the upper part, because this is only the preparation. Yeah, we glaze them down and put other color over it and so on. But if you like it in this style, you can leave it. You can do it like this and say, okay, it's enough for me. Yeah, you see, go on the upper part, make a half circle, make a little bit of transition between the brightest color and the darkest and the midtones, and do this every part on the edges. For example, here the helm, yeah, and prepare for the next step. So, abyssal blue for the shadow with black, mix it super diluted, 1 or 2 drops of color and 5 or 6 drops of water, pretty diluted. You see, very, very, very diluted, and mix. Now a secret tip: if you want to have another black bluish deepest color, take some Gulliman glaze from Citadel into your mix. The Gulliman glaze brings more water into it and more deepness, and they improve your color. Yeah, really, they improve your color and makes it to a pretty awesome glaze shadow wash consistency. I use the glaze as the wash in the same time. Yeah, because they works for small things, they works. And this is important that you go only in one way. Sometimes you go in the other way too. But normally better is you go only in one way, from up to down, for example. And for the helmet is so tiny. The details are very, very tiny. You have really, it's a good idea to wash or glaze them down because it's a very, very tiny work for every stroke, every stripes. Really, it's, you can do it if you want, but I tried a little bit faster. And you see here, I wash them down, use the glaze as a wash, and it works 100%. And we go further later. Yeah, then I show you how to highlight this. Yeah, and that's the result. Now it's time to let the model dry and wait for the next part. I'm enjoying to make this video here in the stay-at-home time. And this is the part Body of Asgard Hair Helmet part 1, and I will return in Body of Asgard Hair of Valhalla and Metal of Sky in part 2. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Really, I am appreciated. And stay at home and stay safe. Bye.